Pierre Poilievre hammers Carney so hard on the broken promises he made that the PM runs out of the House to avoid debate. This is from Cat Canada. Libs claim it's because Carney has to appear at a First Nations assembly to give a speech. Well, he seems to do this quite often, and he seems to avoid Parliament as much as possible for some reason. Maybe because he's not good at it. Maybe it's because he comes off as a smug, elitist technocrat every time that he speaks in public. I don't know. Let's take a look.
He's broken his promise to get big projects built, and now we learn that he has broken his promise to get houses built. He promised during the election he would double home building to 500,000 units per year. Today, the parliamentary budget officer revealed that his brand new bureaucracy will only build 5,000 homes per year, 99% less than he promised, Mr. Speaker, after Conservatives built well over 200,000 homes at half the cost today. Why won't he listen to us and stop building bureaucracy so that we can start building homes? Mr. Speaker, the only thing that member built when he was the governor of the Bank of England was the housing crisis in that country. And then he built a tax haven in the Caribbean so he wouldn't have to pay the same taxes he imposes on the Canadian people. Our youth need homes, jobs, and hope. This Prime Minister only offers them broken promises and more sacrifices. He even held a photo op in front of a house that was dismantled after he left it. So here we have a Prime Minister whose houses disappear after he announces them and promises disappear after he makes them. Mr. Speaker, you can't build homes if you run out of the House. Right. And that's what the Prime Minister is doing right now.
Of course he fled. Of course he did. He had a very important meeting. Very important meeting. Carney hates being in there. He hates being held accountable. Again, he's used to just being like the boss, sitting at a board table telling people what to do. And we're hearing a lot of dissatisfaction from within the Liberal Party itself on that note, that they're not happy with the way that he's conducting business, the Liberal Party business. Yeah, you know, Pierre Poilievre hammers Carney so hard that he runs out of the House to avoid debate. You know, eventually, I think this is going to break through. Eventually, it's going to break through. I think Pierre Poilievre is doing, by doing podcasts, long-form content, by going to the parliamentary press gallery dinner and then, cracking jokes, getting up there, letting doing his little thing with the this hour has 22 minutes, Pierre Poilievre impersonator. These are all good things. They're humanizing things. It's breaking through the narrative and the framing of the CBC and the rest of the mainstream media in Canada, who hates Poilievre because they believe, rightly, that he's going to stop funding them. He's going to cut off their funding, their public money. Right? So they're very desperate to frame him as this mean guy, and nobody really likes him because he's mean, and his tone, he's got a divisive tone. Did you know that Pierre Poilievre is the first politician in all of history that was divisive? Did you know that? Shocking, isn't it? So he's doing a great job, and I'm a supporter. I will vote for him again. I think he's been doing himself a benefit, again, by doing the stuff outside of Parliament, because it will color the way people view exchanges like this in Parliament, right? They've been conditioned. Too many Canadians have been conditioned to just see him and just immediately think there's just something deeply unfashionable about him because, the CBC teleprompters told them so. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.